What you're looking at right now might be one of the most ambitious games ever attempted. Not one of the most ambitious RPGs, not one of the most ambitious open world games, one of the most ambitious games, period. Because somehow, Crimson Desert is trying to combine massive open world exploration, cinematic storytelling, large-scale battles, next-generation graphics, and fast-paced action combat into a single experience. And honestly, that sounds completely insane. The weird part? The more gameplay they show, the more it looks like they might actually pull it off. Today, we're taking a closer look at Crimson Desert and why so many players believe this could be one of the biggest RPG releases in years. One of the first things that grabs your attention about Crimson Desert is the sheer scale of its world. This isn't a small open-world game trying to look bigger than it actually is. Everything shown so far suggests a massive fantasy continent filled with cities, villages, mountains, forests, deserts, and battlefields stretching far beyond the horizon. What makes it even more impressive is how alive the world appears to be. NPCs aren't just standing around waiting for the player. Towns look busy, markets feel crowded, soldiers patrol roads, wildlife moves naturally through the environment, and everywhere you look, there seems to be something happening. The world itself almost feels like a character. Massive storms roll across the landscape. Fog covers entire valleys. Sunlight reflects off rivers and mountains. And thanks to the game's visual technology, every location feels distinct from the last. It gives the impression of a world that's constantly changing, rather than simply existing as a backdrop for quests. While the world is impressive, the combat is probably the reason most people started paying attention in the first place. Every gameplay showcase has featured combat that looks incredibly fast, brutal, and dynamic. Unlike many fantasy RPGs where characters stand in place trading attacks, Crimson Desert looks much more physical. Characters dodge, counter, block, grapple enemies, and launch devastating attacks that send opponents flying across the battlefield. Some moments almost look like something from an action movie. Enemies crash through objects, huge impacts shake the screen. Characters perform acrobatic attacks while maintaining complete control over the fight. The combat seems to combine the weight of a realistic action game with the speed of something much more arcade-like. And that's what makes it so exciting. It doesn't feel like it's copying one specific game. Instead, it looks like it's taking ideas from several genres and combining them into something unique. Every new gameplay clip seems to reveal another mechanic, another weapon, or another way to approach combat.
Back what was stolen. So, you're finally here.
Let's be honest, one of the biggest reasons Crimson Desert keeps going viral is because of how unbelievably good it looks. There are moments where the game genuinely looks closer to a cinematic film than a traditional video game. Character models are packed with detail. Clothing reacts naturally to movement. Hair moves realistically in the wind. Lighting transforms entire environments depending on the time of day. But the real star might be the environmental effects. Water, weather, clouds, smoke, fire, and destruction all look incredibly advanced. Every trailer seems determined to show off another technical achievement. Of course, graphics alone don't make a great game. We've seen beautiful games disappoint before. But when visuals this impressive are combined with strong gameplay and an ambitious world, it's easy to understand why expectations for Crimson Desert continue to grow. Even though the gameplay usually gets most of the attention, there's actually a lot more going on beneath the surface. Crimson Desert isn't just trying to be a giant sandbox full of activities, it's also aiming to tell a large-scale story set in a world filled with political conflict, war, betrayal, and competing factions. Players take control of Cliff, a battle-hardened mercenary leader who finds himself caught in a struggle much bigger than he ever expected. As different kingdoms fight for power and influence, the world becomes increasingly unstable, forcing characters to make difficult decisions that could change the future of the continent. What makes the story interesting is that it doesn't seem focused on saving the world from some ancient evil. Instead, it appears to be a more grounded fantasy narrative driven by human conflict, ambition, and survival. That could help the game stand out from many RPGs that rely on familiar fantasy tropes. One thing that's becoming increasingly clear is that Crimson Desert wants players to have plenty to do outside of the main story. Throughout the gameplay demonstrations, we've seen hints of side activities, exploration systems, hidden locations, large-scale battles, boss encounters, and various forms of environmental interaction. The game seems designed to reward curiosity. Climb a mountain and you might discover a hidden cave. Explore an abandoned ruin and you could stumble upon valuable rewards. Travel far enough from major cities and you may encounter dangerous enemies that aren't tied to any main quest at all. That's one of the biggest advantages of a massive open-world RPG. The best moments often aren't part of the main story. They're the unexpected adventures that happen naturally while exploring. And Crimson Desert looks like the kind of game that wants players to constantly discover something new around every corner.
Is full of dangers, whether you're
Of course, there is still one major question hanging over the game. Can Crimson Desert actually deliver everything it's promising? That's always the challenge with ambitious projects. The bigger the vision becomes, the harder it is to execute successfully. Right now, the game looks incredible. The world looks massive, the combat looks exciting, the visuals look next generation. But eventually, players will need to experience all of those systems for themselves. The good news is that everything shown so far appears genuinely impressive. The developers aren't just talking about ambitious ideas, they're actually showing gameplay, real gameplay. And every new reveal seems to increase confidence that this project could become something special. At the end of the day, Crimson Desert has all the ingredients needed to become one of the biggest RPG releases in years. Whether it's the stunning visuals, the massive open world, the fast-paced combat, or the ambitious scope, this is a game that's becoming harder and harder to ignore. But now, we want to hear from you. What do you think about Crimson Desert? Is this one of your most anticipated games, or are you waiting to see more before getting excited? Let us know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and share it with other gaming fans. Subscribe to Game Tanzania and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos. We've got plenty more gaming news, upcoming releases, and deep dives coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.